A child screamed. A nurse dropped a tray. Blood spread across white tiles as two masked men burst through the ER doors. Rifles up, eyes cold, chasing something no one could name. The room froze. Patients whimpered. Doctors lifted trembling hands. In the corner, mopping behind a gurney, the janitor didn't move. His name tag read Joseph. Shoes frayed, back bent. Uniform smelling faintly of bleach and old gloves. But under the blue scrubs and tired eyes, something else lived, something old, something dangerous. Dee was always quiet around Joseph. He never joined staff chatter. Never took a sick day. Some nurses called him the ghost of floor 3 half, in fear. Half for lack of anything better to say. They didn't know what he'd done, or what he still carried. That morning, Joseph had cleaned the trauma bay like he always did. The same place he once watched his best friend bleed out on a dusty road in Kandahar beneath a pitiless sky. 17 years without speaking of it. They called it friendly fire. He called it betrayal. Now he mopped floors and whispered to ghosts. But he was once a man who wired explosives with steady hands, who spent 9 months in a POW camp without breaking, who walked through a minefield to pull out a wounded child because rules didn't matter when a heart was still beating, and yet here he was invisible, just an old man with a mop. Until the gunmen came, they barked for morphine. Cash, a hostage. One slapped a nurse across the face. The security guard was down. The air reeked of sweat, ammonia, and fear. Joseph kept mopping blood from under the gurney. The taller gunman saw him. "Hey, cleaning guy, get over here." Joseph looked up, not scared, not surprised, just tired. I said, "Move." He stepped. Forward, then again, and reached for his waistband. The gunman laughed. "What, you want to die, old man?" But Joseph wasn't pulling a weapon. He was lifting a tarnished Navy cross that had fallen from his pocket-tan. Honor earned in silence. Hidden for years, the second gunman sneered. "What's that mean?" Joseph's voice was low. "It means I don't run." Someone screamed. The taller man turned. That was the mistake. 3 steps. A twist. The rifle clattered to the floor as its owner went limp. The second man fired blindly. But Joseph was already behind a crash cart. By the time the last casing hit tile, backup security had arrived because Joseph had pressed a hidden alarm 10 minutes earlier. The surviving gunman dropped his rifle. He'd thought he was in a hospital. He was wrong. He was in a war zone. And Joseph, not just a janitor, a doctor muttered. That night, a child who had hidden under the chairs walked up. "Mister, are you a hero?" Joseph smiled faintly. "No, kid. Heroes don't mop floors." But the child didn't believe him. Neither did the nurse who hugged him in tears. Neither did the line of hospital workers who stood silent as he passed ashamed. They'd never asked about the scars on his hands. Some wars never end. Some warriors never leave. Real power doesn't shout. It waits. It watches. Do like and subscribe.